Hi, this is Arthur from the Minute Review Show. If you have a minute, I have an opinion. If you're visiting New York City and want to try Korean food, but something a bit different, you should consider Korean Chinese cuisine. Korean Chinese food is itself a unique cuisine with interesting takes on Chinese cuisine. Today, I'm taking you to Bayside, Queens, and visit a popular Korean Chinese restaurant called Guh Sung. I will order some of the most popular dishes. You don't want to miss it. Hi, this is Arthur from the Minute Review Show, and today I'm in Bayside, Queens. I'm going to try some Korean Chinese food. It's one of my favorite genres of Chinese food because they do it differently. We're here on a Saturday afternoon. The Saturday afternoon crowd is, there's quite a few people here. We're here at a restaurant called Guh Sung. Guh Sung is a Korean Chinese restaurant. I'm not an expert at it, but there are a few dishes that I really like to have whenever I come to a Korean restaurant. I'm going to order those dishes. We'll see how they do it here. Let's take a look at the menu of Guh Sung. Now this restaurant is on Blvd in Bayside, New York, Bayside, Queens. And the beginning of the menu will have the noodles and rice dishes. The most famous one being the Korean jjajangmyeon. There's a couple of versions of that here. And as we go down, there are also some soup noodles here. Go further down, we have some fried rices, and it's called bap. And then when we go to the next part of the menu, we have the noodles and rice. We have some more rice dishes along with some more soup dishes. And then we have some appetizers, some dumplings, and some bread. Next we have some meat dishes, and my favorite one is the first one, which is the sweet and sour Korean pork. Here's a whole bunch of other dishes here. Their version of orange beef, orange chicken. We have poultry and duck dishes here. And then we have seafood dishes right here. There's a whole set of them here. We have bean curd dishes, which I assume are tofu dishes. And then we have fish dishes. We have sea cucumber and abalone. Definitely more expensive. We have some soups. We have some dessert. And then we have some set meals. They range from $250 to $470 for a whole set of food. Finally, here are the lunch specials. They're only available Monday to Friday. Table, they serve some free kimchi, some onions, and I believe those are pickles, and some sauce. I'm not sure what sauce that is, but it looks like a type of sweet sauce. Okay, the first item I'm going to try is the kimchi. The kimchi looks like this. It's cut into little squares. Let's try the kimchi to get the tasting notes. Okay. The kimchi isn't very super salty. It's just the right amount. Another thing that I'm tasting is that it's not very sweet. Nowadays there seems to be a lot of kimchis that are very sugary, but this is actually pretty good. It's not very sweet. Nice and crunchy. It has that cold, right out of the refrigerator taste. Not so bad. And it's not very spicy either. Very neutral. Let's try the pickle. Here's the pickle. Nice thick chunk. Okay. This tastes just like the pickles that you get in a Japanese fudomaki. Nice and crunchy. Once again, cold. Not too sour, surprisingly. That's good. The first item that I ordered is a spicy chicken dish. It's deep fried, as you can see. There's a very large bowl. Now, this particular plate is about 10 inches wide. But then again, the price is commensurate with the size of this dish. Now, there's a sauce that's provided here with some peas. And here's a little chili pepper here. So, yeah, this is basically fried chicken with a gravy, a spicy gravy, and some chili peppers. can't wait to see how spicy this really is, because the waitress warned me that this is spicy. Okay, and now's the time to try the spicy chicken I ordered. This is a Korean Chinese dish. Here's the gravy that's coating this fried chicken. Let's see. It's very nice. The batter is nice and springy. In fact, it tastes like it was fried with rice flour, a glutinous rice flour, so it's very gummy. It's nice texture. You don't get this in Chinese food. The chicken itself is dark meat. I do taste some spiciness, but it's nothing like Sichuan type of spicing. The heat is very low. I was a little disappointed because the waitress had told me, "Are you sure?" Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure that I want to get hurt by this spicy chicken, but it's not spicy at all. I don't know why. I love the texture. It's so bouncy and chewy. Not to mention that there's the right amount of salt, perfect amount of salt. Doesn't need to be salty, and has that tiny hint of tanginess. I like this. It's perfect it's a perfect dish for eating with rice. I really like this. I ordered a famous Korean dish called tangsuyeok, which is pork that's deep fried with a sweet and sour sauce. So this is Korean sweet and sour pork. Now this dish, once again, is in the mid-20s in terms of price, and they give you a lot of meat. Look at this. This is about a 9-inch plate with some vegetables on the side. This sauce is a sweet and sour sauce with some pineapples and peppers. And we're going to try this, and this is already looking really good. I'm going to open up a piece of the tangsuyeok, which is the fried pork. And as you can see, this is the pork. It's a very nice cut. It's pretty fatty, and you can see on the edge the chewy flour batter that they fried this in. And look how spongy and chewy this is. This is the texture that is perfect Korean tangsuyeok. Look at that, like that. Now let's take a look at the spicy chicken that I got. Now the batter is similar to the one with the pork. So you have that nice chewy batter, and as you can see, this is all dark meat, and it comes with this nice sauce on the outside. Very, very delightful in its taste. Okay, the next dish I'm going to try is the tangsuyeok, which is the fried pork with the sweet and sour sauce. This is what it looks like. You can see that the sauce is really thick. It looks almost molassesy. That sauce is very mild. It doesn't have a lot of sour in it. Korean sweet and sour sauce is definitely not as sour and not as sweet as Chinese sweet and sour. It's more mild. The coating on that pork is definitely crunchy. It's thin. I think it might be maybe a cornstarch batter, but it's definitely a type of batter, because you can tell from the thickness of it. Now this batter is interesting because on the other dish with the fried chicken, that one had a gummy flavor, but this one doesn't seem to have that gummy flavor. Let's try this again, see if I'm wrong. Okay, I'm wrong. This one definitely has that gumminess. Just as good. And the pork itself is nice and tender, nice and soft. Not a lot of salt in here. I would have preferred a little more salt in here, but that's okay. You'll get a lot of the flavor through the sauce. But that plate is in the mid-20s. It's a big plate. You can feed a lot of people. It's very good quality. The next dish that we ordered is jjajangmyeon, and jjajangmyeon is basically jjajangmyeon in Chinese. It's a noodle with a black bean sauce. Now, this black bean sauce has some onions in it, and yeah, it's mainly onion flavoring. But I was told that this sauce, when you pour it over your noodles, it's going to be pretty spicy, because this particular sauce is a spicy sauce. And once again, the waitress told us that this is spicy and warned us. So I'm wondering how spicy this is. So here's our portion. Not bad. In fact, this is a giant bowl of sauce. If you can see how deep this is. Okay, now we're pouring the sauce into the jjajangmyeon, and as you can see, that is almost, oh my gosh, almost a whole pint of sauce that's mixed into the noodles. The noodles are a yellow noodle, and as you can see, it looks pretty firm, but I'm pretty sure that when we get the sauce integrated into the noodles, it's going to mix in really nicely. And I can also visually see that the noodles are warm. There's a tiny bit of steam coming off of those noodles, and yeah, the mixing is going on, and we're going to try this very soon. It's actually a super big portion when you add both elements together. Okay, the next dish I'm going to try is the jjajangmyeon, and there's the spicy version of jjajangmyeon. This is what it looks like. Now, the waitress came to our table and asked us if she could cut our jjajangmyeon with a scissor, and we told her no, we shouldn't. So I had a heck of a time trying to pull out all the jjajangmyeon from that main bowl. Okay, but these strands of noodles are super long. We mixed the sauce into the noodles, and let's try this. Yes, this noodle sauce is spicy. Oh my god, my tongue is tingling. It's incredibly spicy. You know, Korean food, when you think of spicy, you think of the bean paste. Well, this particular sauce, this sauce for the jjajangmyeon is spicy. Wow, I've never had jjajangmyeon this spicy before. I'm glad I ordered it, because normally with jjajangmyeon, it's so neutral. It's just saucy noodles, but this one has a kick. Wow. And it doesn't even taste like chili heat. Something else is making it hot. I don't know what it is. When you see red, you think it's hot. This has no red in it. Take a look at this. There's no red in this, but it's spicy as heck. It's spicy as heck, but I love it. One final tasting note that I have to give you about this jjajangmyeon, as my mouth is burning, is that this noodle is very chewy, just like a regular jjajangmyeon. These noodles are also, I don't know, it seems to be a little thinner than regular jjajangmyeon, but that's still okay. The taste is there, the heat is there. This is a very good version of jjajangmyeon. Love it. The next dish we ordered is the beef fried rice. Now, the Korean beef fried rice looks a little different from the Chinese beef fried rice. Now, if you look at the grains here, the grains seem to be glistening. I kind of like that. That promises to be a very nice chewy grain of rice. And the portion here isn't the largest, but you know, if the quality is up there, it's definitely a price worth paying. The fried rice, we were given a soup. Now, this particular soup I did not expect. It looks like a type of onion soup with probably some kind of gochujang or something to make it red and spicy. So we're going to try that later. The next dish I'm going to try is the beef fried rice. Now, here's the fried rice. And before I made a comment about how beautiful the grains of rice are, they're kind of pearly and glistening in my face. Let's try this. I love that. Whenever you get rice that has that pearly complexion, it's always going to be good. And this type of rice does have that look to it. Now let's try some of that beef. The beef, there's not a whole lot of marination in it, but it's okay. The rice itself has so much flavor. They didn't hold back on the salt, and that's exactly how I like it. You need to season this. The flavor is purely salt, maybe MSG, but definitely salt. There are some eggs in here, and also what appears to be maybe some spring onions. The texture is perfect. Pearly rice grains. Remember that. There's one thing that you remember from this review. Get pearly rice grains. Don't know the breed, but they're good. Now it's time again for, ta-da, the star of the show. Now today we ordered 4 dishes. It was very difficult to choose between the 4. They were all almost equally on the same level of good. What I did was that I chose the one dish that I felt had a little something extra that I've never had before. And today, the star of the show is the jjajangmyeon. Now, this jjajangmyeon, I really enjoyed it. It had a nice chewy texture. It was plentiful. The sauce was super spicy, something I don't normally have with jjajangmyeon. Those chunks of onions weren't cut too large, so you know, it didn't overwhelm the noodle dish. It just had that nice chew, that nice flavor going down. Overall, it was so satisfying. I have to say that it just beat the other dishes by a whisker because I thought that the other dishes were done very well too. If you come here, my number one choice would be the jjajangmyeon. Okay, the meal is over and I had a great meal. We had very simple dishes here at Guh Sung. The simple dishes that we had were done very, very well. I really enjoyed it. The flavors are not overly strong, with the exception of the spicy jjajangmyeon. I really like coming to Korean restaurants because sometimes I like a change in pace. The change in pace is that the flavors are a little different from Chinese food. The presentation is different. The side dishes are different. No, it's just a different atmosphere. I like coming here every once in a while. There are some dishes that I really like because I've seen them in Korean dramas before, especially the jjajangmyeon, because whenever you see a Korean drama, you always have a scene where people are eating jjajangmyeon and they're going like this, and it's always made me curious, and now I know what all the fuss is about. It's a really good dish. So thanks for watching, and also please click a like and subscribe. Tell your friends about this channel. There are other reviews on this channel that you might like. I appreciate you coming back every week to watch me go to different places to eat. It was over, and look at all these leftovers that we have. There's just so much food. The final bill was $90.32 before tip.